Uh-oh. Oh, no. Here we go, baby. Clark the Shark, 1-800-449-8255. All of 5'6" or so. Maybe 5'7". I don't know, you guys. It's short, but intelligent, smart, not fair and balanced. I'm biased in favor of Shark and a little bit in favor of Black Sabbath, Born Again, 1983, when I was all of 18 years old, living a really shitty life. I remember in 1983, I hated that year. But near the end of the year, things improved a little because I was going to El Camino College in Torrance, California. And I think I lasted there maybe 1 or 2 years. I'm not sure. It wasn't long. You know, when you do an application now for a loan or a school or, you know, anything, borrowing money or trying out for a new job, it always says like bachelor's degree, you know. What's the other one? Like associate's degree, and then some college. You know me, Clark the Shark. I mark some college. I mean, there was some. I remember there was this girl that sat next to me in the psychology class at El Camino in 1983, 84. And this girl was really like slutty and proud of it. And she was like, wanted every guy in the room, even me, yours truly, Clark the Shark. And I was like, just creeped out and weirded out, especially by that. Because I was like, this chick is boy crazy and desperate. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, you guys. 1-800-449-8255. The Shark-a-lamba ding-dong, Shark-a-doodle-doo. I don't know if she was desperate. You know, there's people who are like, Sharky, you were cute and cuddly. Girls are into it, you know, sometimes. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I remember. And especially if you give me a few bottles of liquid courage, and give the girl that too. Sparks might fly, as Sir Mick might utter, here on the Sharky Show. But with Black Sabbath, this one album here, okay, this album is a real enigma or something, because critics hated it. There were even some fans that hated it. Everyone hated it, yet everyone loved it or something. And in the day, back then, you kept that on the down low that you liked this album or something. Not me, Clark the Shark. I openly, immediately loved this. And mainly because Ian Gillan from Deep Purple, this is his one and only foray into Black Sabbath. And one of the things I'll never understand about this era, or, you know, Black Sabbath post-Dio, is I always sort of dreamed and had a fantasy that Ian Gillan could be in Black Sabbath. And I would tell people, you know, back when I was 17 and 16, like, imagine that if you had someday Ian Gillan with Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler and all that, you know, Bill Ward. And I knew it would never happen. And then all of a sudden it happens. And you're just like, what the fuck? You're like taken by surprise or something. You're so in shock. And then you're like, well, I got to hear this. I got to buy this and take it home. I don't think I bought this. This guy named Tom Carmody, the brother of Ted Ropp, the bassist of GE, he had this album, and I remember playing it. And at first, I was like, "What is this? Is horrible." I was like, "This is terrible." And also, I didn't just think the songs were really bad. I thought like the recording was bad or something, or maybe the way the tapes were transferred to vinyl. Something was wrong with this album, I remember. But then after listening to it a bunch of times, I think I even stole it, like, borrowed it and took it to 251 Paseo de Gracia up from El Retiro Park down there, Vista del Parque. And I don't know if I permanently stole the album or maybe it accidentally went to my house and I would play it over and over. And then I just decided to never give it back. But I began to love this album. Eventually, I think I brought it back to Tom. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I did get my own version of this on CD, not vinyl. And I still have it today in my storage in San Diego, which I better pay soon or it's going to get auctioned off right here on the Clark the Shark Show. But over time, I started to sort of like this album, I remember, and I was like, this is interesting, especially Trashed, of course, which is awesome now. But then one day I didn't listen to this for a while, for like a year or two, and I suddenly played it and I was blown away. I was like, this whole album is incredible. And not just because Ian Gillan is the singer. The songs are really well like arranged or something, or they're actually too complex and complicated for their own good in a great way right here on the Clark the Shark Show. I do recommend you buy just this incredible album, you guys, Born Again by Sabbath. Surprisingly awesome. And there were some people in 1983 and 84 that loved this album straight away. But I think they just like the album cover, which is one of the most evil, but then also one of the most funny album covers ever. It looks like Wayne and Garth or like maybe Jerry Seinfeld designed this. I mean, it's fucking awesome. I love this album cover. I know there are people who hate it. But that's actually a picture of me, Clark the Shark, when I was a baby, born again. And as you know, this is all a sharkulation, and I might be, a chosen one by the Lord. But I sometimes worry because of these bad dreams and nightmares that I have, like the one I had last night, that maybe I'm a bad chosen one, like this baby, even though that really is me. I'm not kidding you guys. I sent a picture of me as an infant to Black Sabbath, just as a joke, saying, if you guys want to use this, this is Clark the Shark, when I was only like 3 days old. And it hasn't been touched up at all. Those are my real teeth. That's my real mouth. That's my real fingernails, which are modified claws. And as you know out there, this is all a sharkulation, and I control everything. And your own personal life sucks, and you blame Clark the Shark. And well, you should. Right here from the Golden EIB Sharkraphone. It's not a microphone. It's gold, 98% with 2% nickel, like the Stanley Cup. And I'm just kidding, you guys. That isn't, they put that makeup there on me. I sent that picture in, and everything here has been untouched. All they did was paint my skin red for the picture to give it some effect. But that is basically an au natural picture of Clark the Shark when he was a baby. There's no real effects. The blue backdrop was just to get you kind of freaked. I wish it would have been green. And the red paint they put all over me. Come on, you guys, for evil effect. They didn't really need to do it. That really is about how I look now, too. Me, yours truly, Clark the Shark. And I wonder, you guys, what would Sabbath have sounded like had they continued with Ian Gillan, which, of course, was not going to happen because the very next year, 1985, I should say 2 years after this album, he did tour with Sabbath, by the way. But he got back with Deep Purple for Perfect Strangers, which is nothing like this, of course. And not as good as this. No way, you guys. I saw Deep Purple on that tour at Long Beach Arena, and I will never forget Ian Gillan bathing in the strobe lights. Incredible gig, like Richie Blackmore down on his knees, slapping high fives to the crowd. I didn't think Ian Pace was as good as the old Ian Pace. But all in all, Deep Purple were fucking incredible. And I'm sure somewhere Black Sabbath were chugging along. Now I kind of lose track of them. After this, I think they get with like Jolyn Turner. I could be right or wrong there. I'm not sure. But what they should have done maybe is get back with Dio. Or maybe even Ozzy. But it was not going to happen. But man, that would have been fucking awesome if they would have just kept Ian Gillan forever. That would have been incredible right here on the Clark the Shark Show. I want to get into these songs. I don't really care what I know it's going to get bad stars. I haven't even checked yet. But, all music. And they'll probably hate it. They hated it. Everyone hates this Blender one. I don't know how you can give this album a 1. This album's incredible. They didn't listen to it or something. The Rolling Stone album guide gave it a 3 out of 5. That's sort of accurate, but I would have given it a 4. Metal Forces, 8 out of 10. Martin Popoff, whoever he is, 10 out of 10, dude. And he's right. Popoff is right, you guys. This fucking album's incredible. I don't know if it's a 10 out of 10, maybe like a 9 out of 10. But, right from the very first song, Trashed, one of the greatest Black Sabbath songs ever, you guys. Awesome. You just got to hear it, man. Ian Gillan, incredible, but the whole band. It's a performance. And Stonehenge, the little instrumental. It starts out incredible with these first 2 tracks, but then Disturbing the Priest, epic. And another instrumental, The Dark, which is good. Zero the Hero, like a Black Sabbath classic or maybe an Ian Gillan classic. Awesome. Side 1 is incredible, or side A. Trashed just puts you in this mindset or this mood that you're about to listen to a fucking incredible, amazing album, and you are. And you did. Right after you played this, you wanted to go form a band. Digital Bitch, side 2, of course, this is about Sharon Osbourne, and it's accurate. Digital Bitch. You can't find a better song than that, you guys. I'm not kidding. Awesome. Born Again, the title track. Incredible. All 634 of it. If there are weak songs, it might be the final 2, Hotline and Keep It Warm, but I like them. Me, Clark the Shark. This album is heavy. This album is scratchy, like it's almost like a garage band. You guys, you just got to hear this whole fucking album. Is it the best Black Sabbath album? In some weird, twisted way, yes, I think it is. Just by accident. This was a happy apple, like John Lennon would say. A happy mistake. I don't want to call it a brilliant failure, because this album doesn't fail at fucking all, you guys. It is incredible from start to finish. And another thing I like about this album is it is misunderstood. And even me, yours truly, Clark the Shark, misunderstood this album at first. But I'm telling you all now, especially you young people, today, June 2, 2024, I want you to go buy this album at Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, Napster, I don't care where. Wherever you buy streaming music or whatever. You get this album, especially if you were born after 9/11, September 11, 2001. If you were born in 2004, 2005, 2006, I need you to go buy this album. And you tell them that Clark the Shark, the fabulous guy from the Golden EIB, Sharkerphone, not a microphone, #1 worldwide, right here on WABC Radio New York. #1 on Mars, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, but definitely and certainly, you guys, on Uranus. The Clark the Shark Show. It's fucking absolutely beyond amazing. It's incredulous And the thing I love about this album, once again, is that's me as a baby. That's Clark the Shark, you guys. I'm sorry. Some of you want to call me the Antichrist, or some of you are like, he's all into himself, or, something. Or I'm actually into God, you guys. I'm a monotheist. I believe in the Lord. And the Lord has to go to great lengths to stop me, yours truly, Clark the Shark, because that's me as a baby. When I was born, they had to take that picture and then they had to mail this to Black Sabbath. I actually mailed it myself. And they said, yeah, Clark the Shark, we're going to use your picture. You might be the chosen one. And I'm like, yeah, baby. Put me on the cover of Black Sabbath Born Again, 1983, and sell this bad boy for $16.99 or whatever it costs. I forget, but go and buy this. And of course, you tell them Clark the Shark from the Clark the Shark Show sent you right here from WABC, New York, #1 syndicated